Before the start of 2015, short poetry itself was revolutionary and a legitimate style for writing poems. Haiku has been practiced since the 17th century by both modern and ancient people. When writing haiku, one must maintain a right balance on using the same number of syllable count and the correct message. And for new poets, it has been a difficult task back then and sometimes tough to maintain all the necessary elements together. It has been clearly defined by Joe Brazio, a great Zikorean poet and a researcher from California, United States, in an article published on a leading poetry site, Allpoetry.com, since start of 2022. He says, brevity poetry itself was revolutionary when it first became recognized, named, and accepted as a legitimate style or well-practiced method of writing. Haiku is likely lord and ruler of both ancient and modern brevity writing. With haiku personality, I sometimes trip up to make sure I have the syllable count correct while at the same time trying to convey something or interesting with a nature theme and a little twist. In doing so, some of the creative imagination, visuals, description, emotion, and even the message tend to become muddled secondary to almighty syllables. Okay, so what if we write a free verse poetry? Like, what are the main things to consider when writing short poems which are even shorter than haiku? This has been organized by Dr. Zik from Pakistan, who has been in this field for a very long time. So what are the key elements to consider when writing a poem using shortest poetic form? To put in simple terms, this poetic form is divided to many other short poetic forms. For instance, Ziket consists of two lines. First line has 5 syllables, however the other line is up to 8 syllables, making up to 13 syllables in general. And the good thing is, it is flexible, providing more power to the poet. Enter the Ziket, 2 lines. One line up to 5 syllables, the other line up to 8 syllables, total in 2 lines up to 13 syllables. What makes it interesting, diverse, simple, challenging and addictive is the structure is open to variance. It's up to the writer to decide how many syllables. This provides flexibility. Flexibility provides flow and creativity. Flow and creativity help allow for use of devices such as metaphors, smile, personification, assonance, alliteration. Try that with haiku. Okay, so what about Zinet? According to Dr. Zik, this is one line poem with up to 5 syllables. Now, factor in the Zinet, even simpler than the Ziket, one line poem with 1 to 5 syllables. Next, put 2 or more zikrs together, the Ziklight. Mix up the themes a little, the varied Ziklight, keeping everything on the same note, the uniform Ziklight. Even more detail can be added if the poet decides to make the Ziklight rhyme. Throw a Zinet to the Ziklight and you have a varied Zinlight and Zinet. And lastly, the need of the day, Zikorean poetry. We live in the information age. What a fabulous age to be pioneering. This type of poetry couldn't be more fitting, one time and in tune, getting otherwise complicated or confusing information in the form of poetic license across to a reader who might not otherwise understand it or even read it is the very essence of the age of information. Communication, information, definition, description, illumination are ingredients, the protein if you will of effective writing. All are major factors to be considered in composing Zikorean poetry. If you want to learn more about this article in detail, click on the link given in description and find more similar articles.